Well, hi, church family. Pastor Mark here. Well, sadly, we are not going to be able to meet on Sunday morning together. And I just want you to know, personally speaking, I absolutely hate that. I hate it because, number one, I'm always encouraged by coming together. I always love being at church with you, and I'm always edified. And when we're not able to do that, none of that happens. Secondly, I'm always conflicted making these kinds of decisions. The reason we're making this decision to virtually have church on Sunday, January 21st, 2024, is because of the Snowmageddon storm that came our way. First of all, remnants of the storm are still all over our parking lot. I drove in today. Today is Friday, our time, and we slid all over the parking lot. It was pretty dangerous. We had a brother who was going to come all the way up from Holly Springs and clear our parking lot for us, and he wasn't able to get out of his driveway. And this is a guy who does asphalt for a living and is a man's man, and when Trey can't get out of his driveway in Holly Springs and says, man, it's too bad, then you know it's bad. So we knew our parking lot was scheduled to be cleared, but it couldn't get cleared. They weren't able to get to it, so there's still ice all over. It doesn't look like anything's going to melt. Thirdly, Scott Wiley, our building superintendent, he's just fantastic. He told me, Pastor, the temps aren't going to get very high. It's going to be super hard to not have a wreck or not have a fall or not have an injury on the property. In addition to all that, as many of you already know, we had a chiller literally explode. There's nothing we could do about it. The chiller was inside the building, but just due to circumstances and the freeze and everything in between, one of the lines broke and it flooded our sanctuary to a degree and many of our classrooms. So Service Pro has been up here working, and they really need to be in the building, and they were going to stop so we could have service, but there was going to be a huge interruption with that anyway. Several classrooms were off limits and several entrances were going to be off limits. So because of the ice and because of the parking lot and because of Serve Pro and our situation, we just said, you know what, it's time we go virtual. So what we intend to do on Sunday is have a message for you, and we just want to alert you ahead of time. So maybe you can gather with your people in your home. You might even be able to invite some other believers over who live close to you and say, hey, come over and let's all sit around and watch it together. And our hope is not only that you'll just watch a sermon, because you could pretty much do that anywhere with anybody, but that you would also discuss the sermon. So there'll be some questions that you could take down and you could discuss among your group and kind of have a home group. Also, we'd encourage you to think through some songs, just some simple choruses that you can sing together. And our hope is that you'll gather together on Sunday at 10:30, you'll watch, and the Word of God will edify you in some way. So that's what we're doing this weekend. We're going to miss not being together. You know, I know early Christians, they were thrown to lions and they traversed all kinds of things to meet together. But just the reality is, here we are in the 21st century, and small things keep us away from gathering. But here's the good news. We have technology that they didn't, where we're able to do things like this. So the church is not the building. The church is the gathering of the saints. And so gather together and encourage one another still. And let us know that you're going to be watching, and encourage everybody else. Hey, there's people here and they're watching together, and together we'll share this experience. And then, Lord willing, we'll come back together Wednesday, and we'll come back together Sunday after. All right? Well, God bless you. We hope to see you this Sunday virtually online. Consider prayerfully attending and giving and supporting the church ministries as we go forward.